We're a pretty liberal congregation.
You know, here's the deal. From a very personal standpoint, I'll just back up and let you know a little bit about me.
Sure.
I did what a lot of Mormons do, which is to find it, get married, and try to have a family. And similarly, the marriage failed, but out of that marriage came a beautiful little boy named Wesley. And when he was 4 years old, I had been with my partner for 2 years by that time, who had helped to raise Wesley. When he was 4, he was killed in a tragic accident, as you referenced in the introduction. And we did a lot in that Mormon community to help the community to heal by building schools in Africa. We built now 23 schools in Kenya for AIDS orphans. And we were on the front page of Mormon-owned Deseret News. My partner and I were laying the ground, laying the stones to that first school in Kenya for those children who now benefit from an education. And during that period, I saw a Mormon community come together to help 2 gay men grieve the loss of their child. In fact, the governor of the state of Utah, who's now running for the presidency, John Huntsman, officiated at my son's funeral. So I felt like we had progress. I felt like for the first time they got us. I felt like my son's life and the loss of that little boy was a beginning for the Mormon community in seeing that there was validity in a gay relationship. And then I acquired the documents that showed that they didn't get it. And in fact, when push came to shove, they would steamroll right over my family. And I thought, you know what they did to help us get through that tragedy of building those schools, and what happened with Proposition 8, there was a huge gap. But I thought, if truth and shedding a light on what they did in Proposition 8 and the pain they caused can sort of build a bridge, maybe with painful stones, maybe we can accomplish something here. So I did it out of anger and feeling quite betrayed, and feeling like maybe if we shed a light on this and get the truth of it out there and lay open this wound, then some healing can happen, and my Mormon friend can align more with what I saw when I lost our child.
You talk about the divide between your experiences in this tragedy and then what we saw in Prop 8. I'll ask this to Dustin as well, and it is addressed to a certain extent in the film, but why would Mormons or the Church of Latter-day Saints, headquartered in Utah, care so much about a same-sex marriage initiative in California?
Why do I think?
Yes.
Well, you know, I mean, the film goes into it a bit, the
Yes.
sort of religious explanation, which is this idea that only heterosexual couple who can have biological children could fulfill their promise of heaven. That's part.
Speak up, please.
Yeah,
Sure.
speak up, please.
Sure. All right. I'll do my best.
That's what they get to
So that's the religious argument, I think. But I don't think that that's all that was at play. I do think that the Mormon Church had found a niche on the sort of far right, the sort of conservative right of marriage, and it actually won them great praise when they won in Hawaii and beat back marriage in Hawaii. And they were replicating that again in California, thinking that they could again hide under the cover of an organization and sort of win favor amongst the very far extreme right, the religious right. And so I think they saw there was a religious rationale and then potentially political gain. And they experienced success, so why not continue to replicate it? And I think what Reed did was so important, which was to blow it open, to let the world know, so that they could no longer hide under the cover of a national organization of marriage, and that we know that this is a religion that's doing it. I will say, only because he kicked it off a bit, that it really has started a conversation. One of the first phone calls I got after the movie came out, and it was clear it was going to, have a pretty wide release and be seen, was from the Mormon Church. And so, I grew up Mormon, my family's out there in Utah still, and they said, hey, would you be willing to come out here and meet with some of the leaders of the Mormon Church and discuss what it is you guys uncovered in this documentary? And we did. We started to make some progress. I think they're incredibly embarrassed. They see membership waning, they see dollars being threatened, and they certainly see that some of their political desires, namely having a president in the White House, has now been threatened because they look like the far right. And so they started that conversation, and it's gone as far as to now, finally, a message went out to all the bishops in the Mormon Church that they should no longer call being gay a sin or try to reprogram. And that's a huge shift for the Mormon Church. And they went a step further about a year ago, and I'm sure it's for political reasons and some selfish reasons, but they went even further and endorsed as a religion non-discrimination in housing and employment, which is a massive shift if you grew up in that church. So it did, what Reed did, I think Reed's film sort of lit that fuse, and it was painful. It was painful for them to be held accountable, but it has built that bridge, and now, I mean, I have a picture on my phone of me and a whole congregation of once Mormon, I suppose, fighting our old church, gay men invited to the Mormon Tabernacle Choir Christmas Spectacular with David Archuleta.